Alright guys, today I'm going to be going over everything I've bought over the last 2 to 3 months for CEX, HMV, Fopp, Cash Generator, the whole 9 yards. It's quite a lot, it's going to be a long video, hope you enjoy. Let's dive in. Okay, let's start off with the 360 games. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Actually a really good game based on the film of the same name. That's an old logo, I think that's a Game Centre. Used to have one in Kilmarnock, shut down, or it became Game, or they bought it over, could be wrong. Really fun game. It's like a survival horror type game, but a bit more actiony. Killer is dead. Suda 51, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Never played this game. Heard mixed reviews, but for £8, why not? Fun game. One of the, not the best one, Gunslinger, which you can get on the Switch at the moment, is probably the best in the series. But this is a good second best next to the first game after that. The director's cut of Human Revolution. Bit pricey, but you know what? Always wanted to play a director's cut. Loved the original. Got the sequel on PS4. And finally getting to play through the boss battles without being stuck at them for ages, because they never designed them properly. Okay, let's move on to the PS4 games. UFC. The first one, I've been playing a lot of the fourth one, but for £4, you know, it might be good. You know, you can go in the Ultimate Fighter show, rather than the new game where it's Dana White's Contender Series, which, you know, they're trying to push a lot more of now in the UFC. But that last season of Contender Series, if you haven't seen it, very good. Can't wait to play a bit of this. Been sitting there for a while. Shenmue 1 and 2. Love... Oh wait, I'm wrong, that's Shenmue 3, but spoilers for Shenmue 1 and 2. Always wanted to play these games. Love the Yakuza series, played them all. But from what I've heard, Shenmue walked so Yakuza could run. Yeah, I'll get into these sometime. They're meant to be very, like, realistic, quote unquote, on account of the fact that certain times at certain places, as you can see there, talk the world feels alive, talk to anyone. Yeah, seems pretty good game series. Let's move on to TV. Legion. Only ever watched, I say that, I've watched the second season of this as well, and it was very good. I think there's 4, but this was on sale on Fopp for like £4 and I couldn't pass that up. Channel Zero, based on like that creepypasta. Deadbot. Succession, meant to be a superb show. You can't go wrong with HBO. They just make classic television, instant classics. And from what I've heard, this is an instant classic. And here's a classic that no one talks about. The Newsroom, written by and created by Aaron Sorkin of The West Wing. Currently on the second season of this on a rewatch. Masterful show. Really, really worth watching. Mr. Robot Season 2. It's £4 and I've got the first season, so I'm just trying to pick them up on the cheap because it's already on Amazon Prime and I pay for that every month, so if I can get them for less than a £5, yeah, it makes it worth it. And my newest pickup TV wise, The Mayor of Easttown. Don't know much about it, but heard good things, and you know, all those awards, they don't just give those awards out for nothing, but they do. But I've heard good things about this show. Another HBO show. 3 HBO shows in that pickup, and you can't go wrong with HBO. Okay, on to the anime pile. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Big fan of Final Fantasy VII. Great game. Deserves all of the praise. The remake is just as if not better than the original, but that's hotly debated. Soul Station, a prequel to the hit film Train to Busan, which is superb. You'll see that pop up in the regular film reviews rather than the anime. Akira, a classic. Picked up the manga, the first 3 volumes, love it. Can't recommend this movie enough. To anyone really, even if you're not an anime fan, this is a great movie. Attack on Titan, the first season, as I said, picked up the manga and really enjoyed it. Can't wait to rewatch this. Watched this before, never got past the first season, but really good. Your Name, never seen it, friend recommended me it, so yeah, I'll watch it. It was like 3-4 quid in Fopp. Okay, on. This is the box set with the full show and the movies. Seems fun. Yeah. It was this is meant to be quite rare, so when I seen it I thought, yeah, pick it up. That's our running theme. Okay, let's start off with films, and it will be Battle Royale. £18 from CEX for the Arrow release. One of the best films out of modern Japan. Brutal, quite tense, got one of the best actors of all time, Takeshi Kitano, beat Takeshi himself. Watched this on Netflix years ago. Netflix took it off and been looking for this. There's that other version with all 3 movies which comes for like £60, but that was out my price range and the first one's the best, so picked it up. Bumblebee, arguably the only good Transformers movie. Might get hate for that, but honestly the only good one. And it's really good, so I highly recommend it. Haley Steinfeld, great actress. Warrior, Fury, I don't know, I'm pretty into my MMA, and I'm basically a movie like Rocky, but about the MMA world. Can't not watch it. Still haven't seen it, but hopefully it's good. Well, for £1.50, can't not be good. More UFC related films. D-Day Dog Company, starring Randy Couture, former heavyweight champion of the world, Chuck Liddell, former light heavyweight champion, and Nicolas Cage's son. The whole movie's on YouTube, and it looks quite shit, but for a laugh, you know, it's got some funny MMA people in it, so it could be worth a watch. Train to Busan, Peninsula. Nowhere near as good as either Train to Busan or Seoul Station. Just a mess of CGI, worse than any of the recent Marvel films. Probably on point with how bad they are, but was it worth £7? Yeah, nah. If you've seen Train to Busan and wonder what the sequel's like, pass on it. Just watch Seoul Station instead. Lord of the Rings extended editions. Picked this up. I think they messed up on the system because I went in and this was for sale for £20 at Fopp. Went back the next day after picking this up, it was 40, and I think it was just a mess up on the system. They have that quite a lot of time, so sometimes you'll pick up something that's worth £20 and they'll be like, oh, you'll get to the till and it's £12. Sometimes they've never done that where it's more expensive than what it says on it, so you can only really get good deals out of that. Watchmen, Tales of the Black Freighter, which these are like little animated shorts that were in the director's cut of the film, straight from the graphic novel. This is probably a better way of watching it because in the director's cut it just feels taped on rather than cohesive to the plot like it is in the graphic novel. But pretty good animated film. Seven Samurai and Rashomon, Akira Kurosawa's samurai films. There's more in his samurai series, but these are arguably the best. You could say Ran, but these are arguably the best in my opinion. Terminator Dark Fate, still haven't seen. £10 for the 4K. Meant to be really good, probably the best since T2 from what I've heard, but Genesis wasn't that good from what people are saying. Still haven't watched it, but a friend of mine says Genesis is good, so one day I'll have to give that a watch. And just noticed something that should have been in the TV. Watchmen, the TV show. Another HBO show. This is considered a sequel to the graphic novel and not the Zack Snyder film, which gets hate, but I love the Zack Snyder film. But this is the best adaptation of the graphic novel, easily. Get it watched. Let's move some of these over. Notorious, Conor McGregor's biopic film. Kind of like the Bisping film that came out recently. They're making quite a few of these on fighters with interesting histories. Honestly preferred the Bisping film, but pretty good film. Conor McGregor's been in a bit of a crazy streak lately if you've been watching and following on Instagram. But you know what? Hope he makes a comeback. Can't hate the guy as much as he really makes it easy to be hated. Gravity. Watched this movie years ago. Didn't like it. Watched it in college. Developed an affinity for it. Really good film. Gets a lot of stuff right about, you know, space and everything. Tenant 4K for £6. That was an amazing deal from my local CEX in Kilmarnock. Still haven't seen it. That's going to be the run through with a majority of these movies. Haven't seen them, just bought them, been waiting there. End up watching movies that I've owned for God knows how long. Bong Joon-ho collection has everything from Memories of Murder, which is a masterpiece, Snowpiercer, Host, Parasite, and the Parasite Black and White collection, which I haven't seen. Went to cinema to see Parasite, loved every moment of it. Truly a masterpiece. But I'll have to rewatch it in black and white. Maybe it'll add another layer of interest to it. You open up, it's got a wee drawing of the director himself. Little images. You open it further up, and there's a wee book on the inside. Oh, I say book, it's actually art cards from all the characters from all the films. The monster from Host. Quite interesting. Thought I had a wee book in it, but I'm wrong. Usually I am. Yep, no books, just all the movies. Very nice. Moving on to George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, the Second Sight collection. Has multiple versions of the film in it, from the theatrical cut, the extended Cannes cut, and the reason I got it, the Dario Argento cut, director of Suspiria. Oh, and bonus features. They might be good, but that's the reason I bought it, because Dario Argento, great director, and this is meant to be a more horror-centric version of the film. Cuts out all the dialogue and just focuses on the blood, guts, and the gore, which is an interesting take for the film, because this is all about humanity, consumerism, all that really intellectual stuff, you know. Let's move on. But really, really great artwork on this collection. Very nice. Doctor Sleep. Now this is a sequel to The Shining by Stephen King, starring Ewan McGregor as a grown-up Danny Torrance. This is very good. Like, Mike Flanagan does it again. He's made nothing but really good horror films, like probably the best in our recent history for modern horror. He just keeps hitting out the park. Haunting of Hill House, great. Haunting of Bly Manor, wasn't a fan, honestly, but this makes up for it in every way. Very much akin to, has more scenes from the Shining book that were cut out of the film, which caused Stephen King not to be a fan of that film, from my recollection. Girl with All the Gifts, basically The Last of Us if it was made into a film, and also British. Pretty good. Definitely underrated. And if you're a fan of the Beatles, here you go. Ron Howard's 8 Days a Week, The Touring Years. Very nice collection here. There you go. Performing live. It's got a wee book on the inside, like I thought the other one did. There they all are, playing at the Cavern Club. Big Beatles fan. Not my favourite band, but you know, you have to respect the legends. Let's move on. Resident Evil, all the films. And I know these are trash, but they're great popcorn flicks. I love just sitting down to watch these. They're brain dumb movies, but just fun watches. Definitely nothing in the level of any of the games. Gets the games wrong completely, but fun movies. The recent one, Welcome to Raccoon City, was actually pretty good, full of references, which kind of breaks the film, because if that's the only thing you're watching it for, yeah, that's good, but it was a good film. I enjoyed it. Bought this, watched it the day I bought it, because I've heard nothing but great things, and you know what? Superb film. Very funny. Nick Cage is great, and Pedro Pascal, Joel from The Last of Us remake, show coming out on HBO January 13th. Another HBO show I'll have to buy. Definitely worth a watch. Very wacky. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Bought all the trilogy recently, because these are... Never been a fan of the original Charlton Heston films, but these more modern ones, they get better with every movie. War was definitely peak. Another film from the Arrow collection, Heathers. Superb film. It's got these Arrow collections, as I was saying, have so many special features on them. Like, look at that list. It just keeps going and going and going. One of the best teen movies, if you could call it that. Yeah, you could call it a teen movie from the 80s. Up there with Breakfast Club and the likes of Breakfast Club, 16 Candles. I didn't like 16 Candles. Recently, you've seen I bought this, Ready or Not. Got Adam Brody from the OC. Samara Weaving. Some really good actors in there. Andy McDowell, yep, from Groundhog Day, the best comedy of all time. And I will debate that. And on to Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Superb film. Just kidding, it's actually. It's good. It's got some really good scenes in it. Let down by terrible CGI, worse than Train to Busan. Like, they've spent all the budget on the actors, and even then, they're not that famous. Yeah, the most famous is probably Kaya's, and I'm not going to pronounce it, just Google her. She's from Skin, she played Effie. She was really good in it, but they done my boy Leon dirty in this. They really did. And as you can see, there's one last thing. Midnights by Taylor Swift, the Mahogany edition. Superb album, can't wait till she comes on tour. It'll be a fun blast at the Hydro, where she'll probably play there. It's got all the songs. Nice little back picture on the back. There's 4 different versions of the album, but you might think I made of money, but I'm not gonna spend £130 on 4 of the exact same vinyl. I'm not that much of a Swiftie. Pretty big Swiftie though. Yeah, that is the collection from the past 3 months. Gonna be cutting down on spending, because I need to watch these movies first and play these games, obviously. Just finished God of War. Superb game. Probably the best game this year. Game of the year, God of War. Yeah, that'll be it for this CEX Cash Generator Fopp HMV Assorted Media Haul. Tune in and subscribe and click that notification bell for the next one. Cheers.
Drop the bass. Drop the bass. Drop the bass. Drop the bass.